Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I'm going to show you the next pattern that we're going into, not only for the heat, because this is where it's going to start expanding, not only to the southeast, all the way towards the south central. And we do have some storms going around that high pressure, so we have severe weather. Remember, we had that storm that's coming all the way towards Saturday. Might even go into Sunday. I'm showing Saturday will be the strongest day and might even linger into Sunday. Now, I'm watching 4 tropical waves right now, and it's not counting this one over here off the coast of Florida. This has been labeled Invest 92L. Matter of fact, if you look at it, it's got a higher chance of maybe a tropical depression forming as it swings around. Now, this has always been the trend that maybe late formation to a tropical depression. That is about it. Even the rainfall, the winds, nothing is going to be super major on that. And you can see with Alberto going into Mexico as well. And that one's increased on what's going to happen on that next pressure system coming through. Remember, we got the Central American gyre that just spits off these low pressures as these waves come through. Now, you can see all this when you look at your upper levels. So you see all the dry air that's going behind Alberto, but you also see all the dry air that is getting inside of this system off the coast of Florida. This will not strengthen to a whole bunch. This will maybe get a tropical depression as it goes on the Carolinas, maybe even a little bit of Florida, not bringing a lot of impacts. Plus what we have over here in the Pacific. So far, this is a test. You can see it here. It says it's a new test. For some reason, they're testing something in the system. So if you see this in Hawaii, you do not have a system below you. And you can see we do have a big, strong wave coming off the coast of Africa. A very powerful and robust tropical wave. But once again, this is all going to meet up into all this dust as it comes off. And this is stopping anything from forming. You see how everything just goes down to a group of thunderstorms. That's what that wave is going to do as well. Now, yesterday we did get some hail and some storm reports over here from New Mexico. We got a lot of rain as well, but we also got a lot of storm reports, damaging winds going through Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. Also for New England. In New England, you do have some more storms for today, but we also had a tornado, a potential tornado, a tornado report over here in Texas as it was doing all that spinning. And we do have some power outages for this morning. So we have Michigan at over 40,000. Minnesota's getting better. You're at 11,000 now. It was worse. And Texas at 6. New Mexico at 6. Matter of fact, Pennsylvania is at 5 as well. There's a multiple power outages. Less than 10,000, you will not even be yellow. So there's a lot of power outages that you just can't see. Now, we still have that transition of this high pressure circling around, bringing all that heat, and it's going to expand towards the south central as we go by the weekend. But it is bringing storms around it as we go through the coming days. So our severe weather for today has ramped up a little bit. We have chances for tornadoes, a 2%. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. We also have chances for the wind. Damaging winds potentially going towards northeast, towards New England, and over here for the central, north central plains. So far, here's your cities and states at risk for the damage and wind threat for today. You also have the hail threat for today in the same locations. Here's your cities and states at risk. National Weather Service has storms may produce scattered damage and gusts over parts of the northeast on Thursday. Scattered severe storms are also expected over parts of the central high plains. So you can see this here on HRRR. So as you have this high pressure, it's going to be expanding towards the south central as we go through the coming days. You can see all these storms going around that high pressure as we go through today, also for tomorrow, as that disorganized group of thunderstorms comes across the southeast towards Florida and the Carolinas, still not showing any strength coming out of that as these storms persist. Now, as we go Friday into Saturday, it's going to start strengthening up. Our winds aloft get stronger, and that's going to make these storms stronger. We can't quite see that far just yet, but I'm showing that Saturday it might go into Sunday and could be our strongest part of this system as it goes into Canada. And just for the purpose of this wave over here by the Bahamas, by Florida, you see with the Euro, latest update, the 6Z that just came out, that wave is not doing anything. But at the same time, you can see as we go into Saturday, we do get that trough, that tail of storms I told you we got to watch out for as that system comes in. And it might also go into Sunday, maybe overnight Saturday into Sunday, maybe something for the intercoastal northeast also. I will keep you updated. So at the same time, you can see we get some storms that bruise up today for the Dakotas, also over here for the Rocky Mountains. While you get some storms towards New England that passes by for today, and these storms that brew up will bring some winds with them as it goes towards the Dakotas for tonight. Now this will go overnight, also into early morning for Minnesota, Wisconsin. Then for tomorrow, it's going to pop right back up again, bringing these storms around this high pressure. Now, what we got watched for, is we can't see yet, is into Saturday. Saturday is looking even stronger. But so far, latest information for tomorrow, for Friday, we have a 2% chance for tornadoes. I think this will grow more into Saturday. Also, so far, here's your cities and states at risk for tornadoes for Friday. Also, we have a chance for our damaging winds for Friday. As it squeezes all around this high pressure, this is going to be a little volatile on the northern side, and you have some still lingering for the northeast as it goes around that high pressure. Here's your cities and states at risk for damaging winds possible on Friday. Plus your hail threat is going to be in the same area for the north central plains, for the upper Midwest. Here's your cities and states at risk for the hail threat for Friday. National Weather Service has scattered strong severe storms be possible from the northern high plains into the upper Mississippi Valley on Friday, with a few strong storms over parts of the northeast. A few severe gusts are also possible over parts of the eastern Great Basin. Now, when you go by the 15 increments with HRRR, it's a lot more accurate. And you can see over here for New England, for those storms, that you will get somewhere around 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts coming with the storm system this afternoon. Also, what's going around is high pressure. You see it's starting to raise up 40 to 50, even getting 60 miles per hour wind gusts with that as well. Now you can see the difference when you look at HRRR 48 hours. It's not showing the ones for the New England, so you see how much accurate the 15-minute increments are. And you see what's building up over here for the Four Corners. And as you go Thursday into Friday, it's not bringing a lot, but once you start going that Friday into Saturday, it starts bringing in those damaging winds again. And you can see with lower level winds that as you go Friday into Saturday, then it starts bringing in some very strong winds. This will intensify your convection, your lift, help thunderstorms grow, also give you wind direction change with height, start bringing chances for not only hail, but also for tornadoes. And this could grow more as it goes towards the upper Midwest, towards Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Showing all the way until tomorrow morning, not bringing a lot of hail chances, maybe some for Nebraska, for some for South Dakota also. When you go Friday towards that Saturday event, that's where it starts raising up for Utah, Nevada, and Montana and Wyoming. Start raising up chances for this hail. So latest severe weather for Saturday, so far we have the 5% and the 15% chance for severe weather. So far, here's your cities and states at risk. This is going to be a strong day, I do believe. National Weather Service has for Saturday, severe storms will be possible from the upper Mississippi Valley towards upper Michigan on Saturday. Damaging winds, hail, and isolated tornado potential may develop. Now you can see here from the Euro that as you go Saturday through your day, you will bring a lot of storm systems, but as you go through the evening, you're still going to get that tail whip of storms. So we need to watch out for any bowing out that brings in a line of storms, maybe some damaging winds. Also will bring chances for the tornadoes. This also is bringing some flooding multiple days, starting today with a moderate section. You see here with the National Weather Service model, you have a wide area of bringing 2+ inches of rainfall. And you can take a better look here that it does go further over Michigan into UP of Michigan, and it will go all the way into Canada. It just goes right off the map of the U.S. Now this is bringing a lot of heavy rainfall, especially over here for eastern South Dakota, going through southern Minnesota and Wisconsin. 2, 3, 4 inches plus. So for today, you do have a marginal all over here in the south central, also over here for northeast for the New England storms, but you also have a slight risk going from western Texas through New Mexico and some of Colorado, but you also got this slight risk and this moderate level risk for flash flooding for today. So just remember, if you're in this area, watch out for ponding on the roads. For tomorrow, this is going to grow. You have the marginal, you have the slight risk, but you also got this big moderate level risk for flash flooding. So please be aware of this. It is going to make everything a little bit dangerous around you. And it will also bring another marginal towards the northeast, another marginal towards the south central, and over here for the Four Corners, you're starting to get up towards a slight risk for flash flooding as you go through Friday. This is going to keep on going as you go through Saturday. It's going to move over towards the Great Lakes. And as you go through Sunday, it's going to go towards the northeast. So for Saturday, you do have your marginal, but you got your slight risk chances for flash flooding for southeastern Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, and northern Michigan. Bring chances for the flooding, so be aware of that. And as you go over towards Sunday, this is where it's going to go towards the northeast. Not only your marginal, but this flash flooding of this slight risk. So not only did you have extreme heat, I think it was the first time ever that you have an excessive heat watch over in Maine. So there's been a lot of heat going around. down, but you do have the flooding also. Now, National Weather Service did put this out for your heat wave, your updates, and I have information for you. Remember, this is breaking a lot of records, but still what you got to watch out for is as you go from Thursday all the way to Saturday, is really going to be extreme for Indiana, Ohio, all the way through Illinois as well. So watch out for this section because you have a lot of extreme temperatures that's going to be hanging around for multiple days. Also, a lot of people could be possibly 100 to 105 degree heat indices in many locations. So please prepare for this. It will be on the move after you go from Saturday and Sunday. It's going to start moving towards the South Central as you go from Monday and beyond. So remember, this link is in the description for you so you can go click on and see what your temperatures are so you know what days is going to be your worst days of these temperatures. And remember, these temperatures are taken in the shade, everybody, and this is not your heat indices also. So as you take a look for today and tomorrow, you can see the extreme heat conditions continue as you go from Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Stays there also for Saturday and builds. As you go through Sunday, it starts moving a little bit further towards the southern side, the mid-Atlantic also. Monday, it starts switching towards the South Central and is going to be there for Tuesday and Wednesday. So just remember, your heat is going to be building over here, so make sure you're aware of that. Then it's going to move from the southeast and go towards the South Central as we go into the beginning of next week. And you can see this from the latest update with National Weather Service for your temperature probability. You're going to be a little bit below average still in the northwest, but you're going to be well above average even for our summer values all the way over here towards the mid-Atlantic and the southeast and over here towards the Four Corners as we go from the 25th through the 29th. Now let's go to your latest tropical update. I see a lot of fear porn out there, even out of meteorologists that has YouTube channels. They're pushing fear porn. They're changing titles, changing thumbnails when they don't get the views they want. They're just pushing fear porn. I'm still not showing anything. I've been saying this for multiple days. Maybe a tropical depression will form out of disturbance too as this goes towards the Gulf, west, northwestward, just like the last one. Still trending is going to be weaker. Maybe a tropical depression on this. I don't care how warm the waters are. If it's very broad, it won't be able to tighten up around the center and strengthen. This will be a tropical depression, maybe a strong tropical depression. And you have the Invest 92L over here. It's at 40% chance while it moves west, northwest. Also, chance for a tropical depression at best. It's not going to be hurricanes. It's not going to be any of that. Matter of fact, we have another wave coming up that could do the exact same thing right after this one. I just want to keep it accurate. So you can see in the next 72 hours, chance for just a tropical depression. As that wave goes towards the Bahamas and Florida, you might have a chance for a tropical depression. It's at 80%. A lot of dry air getting into it, but this is where it's starting to meet the warmer waters. And it is a trend that it will form up at the last second. Just a tropical depression. And you see that next wave has a good chance to become a tropical depression up to 90% in 3 days. And after you go 4 days, changing over towards Mexico, still have a chance for a strong tropical depression. I don't think it'll have time to grow into a storm while this one crashes over the southeast and weakens back down while this next wave starts moving west. And as you go 5 days, you can see it weakens down and goes over Mexico. And as you keep going, you can see that next wave pushes into the same area a lot weaker. Now we're going 11 and 12 days out. Just a ridiculous amount of time, but at the same time, you can see how much weaker those next waves will be. Also, it's just going to be a lot of dust moving through. You can see this when you check your cyclone locations. Chances for formation shown in 72, 48 hours. All of them showing weak. A lot of gray and a few greens in there. Now, when you look at this, you'll see the green goes from 1,005 millibars down to 1,000 millibars. This would be more likely just a strong tropical depression before it goes towards landfall in 4 days. It goes to the west, and then that next wave just stays weak. It gets wrapped up into that dust and goes further to the southern side of the Bay of Campeche, and you can see how it just pushes to the west. Everything stays weak and pushes to the west. Don't sit there and climb on this one member showing a potential strong tropical storm because you got to go by the majority. Majority is showing that it will be weaker on that third wave pushing through and pushing further towards the west. You can see this here on your ensemble showing in 48 hours all the way up to 72 hours. That next wave pushing through, showing it very weak. Just to be a tropical depression, you need some kind of color in there. And it's just showing an upper level low, a group of disorganized thunderstorms coming by all of the members. Not showing any strength on that. just one. That is a 3% chance of that happening. Then the next wave after that, showing that will push west also, showing by multiple ensembles that it will be weak, if anything. Then it's going to get swallowed up by all this dust. We will go into our break after that. So here you are with the Urals looking at the ensembles, chance for formation. You can see that Invest 92L just staying a tropical wave. That's it. Just moving to the west, northwest, staying a tropical wave. And they're all in agreement on that. Then that next wave that comes through might come up and be a tropical depression into the Bay of Campeche. That's it. No chances for a tropical storm on that as that pushes to the west, right into Mexico. It's been trending that for over a week now. Then that next wave comes out. It's going to be more disorganized as it comes through, getting hit a lot with the dust, trying to form up, but it can't. It pushes west, and then it gets suppressed down to the southwest. Nothing coming out of that neither. You can see the trend with the Ural here, 3 days away, maybe a tropical depression, a group of disorganized thunderstorms, while that goes into Mexico. You can see the same thing here on the GFS, showing maybe a tropical depression as it goes to the west. And remember, GFS always overdoes it a little bit so you know what the possibilities can be, and that's it. It's not showing anything stronger than that going through. Because you can see here on the GOES satellite, as that tropical wave, all that moisture starts building up, you can see all this dust. Very heavy, dry air dust. Big amount. Goes right into center of that storm. And once it gets towards the center, it stays weak. It needs to form up and strengthen from the center outwards. So that would just be a group of disorganized thunderstorms, maybe a tropical depression, maybe a strong tropical depression. At the same time, you can see this wave over here going by the Florida, by Bahamas. You get dry air in that as well as that moves to the west, just bringing a little bit of rainfall. And then after that, we got all this dust pushing through while we have these other waves trying to form up in the late 20s. You see that? Going in the same direction if it even forms. With all this dust, all this dry air, this will cap your thunderstorms from growing. Just bring moisture across. This will not bring anything bigger than that. Showing you a chance for any kind of pressure system with the GOES satellite. You can see maybe an upper level low. Maybe get down towards a 10,013. Barely a surface low pressure. As that goes to the west, that next system coming through, just like we've seen in the ensembles, very weak. Maybe a tropical depression coming out of that. Maybe that is about it. A lot of dust. Then the one after that, not showing any formation either. We just got all this dust and all this high pressure just building over here. We're about to go on a break. This is bringing some rainfall, and this dust is going to persist coming off of Africa and feeding into the MDR, the Caribbean, and into the Gulf. Nothing is forming after we deal with these couple of waves. These aren't even forming much anything. Latest update on potential velocity anomaly shows that we have all that sinking air, all that unfavorable environment moving into our region all the way until the 10th of July. So believe this, there's nothing going to be forming up after this. Only thing we got to watch out for is these next waves still showing a potential lift, potential convection coming into our region for the 15th of July and maybe the 20-something of July. I will keep you updated. It's been showing this multiple times now, but still nothing can form with all this dust. You got to watch people that's just chasing money. Matter of fact, you can see the latest update on global tropics from the 26th through the 2nd of July. They're expecting a tropical cyclone formation in that region. That's that weak system that's going to be pushing through. After that, we got a lot of dust, above average rainfall in all of this green section. Plus, over here from July 3rd through July 9th, there's nothing. We got a lot of dust coming through, and it's still going to shut down our tropics. At the same time, you can see from National Hurricane Center, in 3 days and 72 hours, we have 4 tropical waves that's going to be moving through. This is going to be that potential tropical depression. See, National Hurricane Center has it down as a 1,007. Remember, the average means is 1,013, so that's not much strength of a low pressure. And what comes after them, I'm showing is what's going to get swallowed up by that dust. We'll watch for that next one, possibly doing the same thing, but this is going further south and further to the west. We're going to see less formation, and then no formation. There is 4 tropical waves, though. And you can see the update. They did take away that anomaly. That test was out here in Pacific Hawaii, so don't worry about it. I thought it was kind of weird. I've seen that 5 times in the last few years. Actually seen one over the Bahamas before we even had Ian, like a month before. So I don't know what they're doing about a test, but I'm sure they're doing something about it. I wouldn't worry about it. But that's the latest update. I hope this helps you understand what is coming around the corner. Not just the heat, the severe weather, also in the tropics. We have 4 tropical waves, but I'm showing that we really have nothing to worry about on any of those. So if you're in the Caribbean, please share this information to others out there. Let them see the true, accurate information of what's coming. You don't have multiple monster storms coming. Matter of fact, you got to get ready for nothing. Maybe some dust. Thank you for your time, everybody. Make sure you prepare for the heat that's coming around the corner. It is summer, but this is going to be above average of what we're used to in some of these areas. Still breaking records, but that's still like no big thing. It's going to be hot. So please prepare for that. Now, before you go, Ephesians 6:13 through 17. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Amen. And remember, above all things that's going on, all glory goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe, you, your family, your neighbors, your friends, your enemies, everyone that you know. I pray. And forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.